Hello, everybody. Hey. I want to thank everybody for showing up today to discuss here at the Trinity County Fairgrounds benefits of cannabis retail in Trinity County. This is an in-depth look at the benefits deriving from the cannabis retail industry here in Trinity, of course. Oh, there we go. All right, first here, I want to tell you, I'm Dr. Tammy K. Brazil, and I have a huge disclaimer. All righty then, I own the Red Barn over there in Douglas City, and I would love to retail cannabis at the Red Barn, calling it the Red Barn Healing Angels. I am the former queen and CEO of the Queen of Dragons in Shasta Lake. I opened it, I ran it for many, many years. I did that a long time ago when we didn't have regulations then. We flew by the seat of our pants. But we went by the city of Shasta Lake's regulations. We didn't really have states to go by. And every day that you went to work, you got kind of afraid you're going to be raided. All right? And so it took quite a bit of strength to do that every morning, knowing that something could happen. In fact, one morning, my friend, where I got the Queen of Dragons from, I got her building, she was raided. Okay, and she was raided in 3 locations at the same time. And she, of course, texted me that morning, and she went, DEA. And of course, excuse my ears, I went, WTF. Okay, and she's like, they're using a battering ram on my house right now. All right, and that's the era I grew up in. And I have been doing this all the time since. And I'm very used to this, and I'm very used to helping people, because that's what I do. I'm here to help Trinity, like I helped Shasta Lake. Shasta Lake used to be like that little stepchild, that little redhead stepchild that throws rocks. Okay? The sister brother city to Redding, they didn't get along well, and Shasta wasn't doing well. And I mean, they even had problems with bus service. There was no business, there wasn't anything. I left the QOD, Queen of Dragons, as their future goals did not match mine. Retail cannabis allows my hands-on approach to actually help people, patients, and my community. I'm a researcher. Worked for NASA for a little bit. I did all kinds of things. I am certified by Washington, D.C. I am not licensed in the state of California, of course, due to what I do. I own the dispensary, and couldn't do both. And I found my avenue of healing was greater than being a doctor, was actually working hands-on, being able to do my research in the club, working with people, hundreds of people every day. Being a principal researcher, I specialize in scientific cannabis research, and I'm dedicated to medical cannabis legalization and patients' rights. I coach patients and medical uses and applications of cannabis. I was invited to presidential dinner. I was the Businesswoman of the Year 2006 for the state of California. Honorary Chairman of the Business Advisory Committee to the President of the United States. 2005 National Leadership Award given by Congressional Committee. Honorary Chairman of the House Majority Trust by Congressional Committee. And I also received the Congressional Medal of Distinction, being the only woman and the only doctor ever. Yay! Thank you. I also do, and I am the producer of Can We Talk? One of my greatest things, all right? Where I love to bring in doctors from all over the world, and I will educate the public. It is a free educational series, and I totally pay for it all, and I bring in doctors from all over the world. Prestigious doctors that spoke at the UN, okay, doctors from Prague, some of the top doctors in the world, to educate. Straight talk for public officials, civic leaders, parents, teachers, business owners, pain management clinics, nurses, nursing homes, and patients. It's also viewed around the world via my channels and on YouTube. I helped bring cannabis to the platform the very first year, right, at the Chairman's Circle, the California Democratic Convention. I'm not a Democrat. Hold up. I'm not anything. Sponsoring the Brownie Mary booth, attending with my marijuana prohibition, Cannabis Now Museum. Visited by the Vice President of the United States and the now Governor of California. I've been asked to attend and bring my museum, of course, this year in May, and do it all over again, but I think we're moving far enough along in that realm. Like I said, I am not an activist. I mean, I'm not a Democrat. I'm an activist for the good of cannabis. I will talk to anybody and everybody who will listen to me about cannabis. I will talk to you for days. Yep. I handed a pot plant to the Vice President of the United States. I was at the Democratic Convention, and I had my museum, and I had the little clones. And unknown to me, they had closed down the entire convention, okay, and shut it off. But I got right through to man my booth. But my staff isn't there, the rest of the staff isn't there. Where's everybody? Where's the Brownie Mary Club? I'm all there by myself. And all of a sudden, they're headed straight for me. And I'm like, oh no. And I was terrified. I was really scared. We weren't legal then. Okay, I was doing something. Who knows? No brains. But anyway, here comes the Vice President to me, and nobody else is in this big room with 5,000 delegates in attendance. I'm the only one there. And they're all headed this way, the men in black. And I just did with everything I am. Yes, Mr. Vice President, this is pot plant. And I continued with my spiel. And I just went on with it. Okay, scared, and I showed him everything. I showed him the oil, because I brought that. I showed him the medicine. I showed him the children that I work with, that you can see on the back of my board. Okay, I work with a lot of children who are very, very ill. And I had a good time, and of course I made it out of there because I'm standing right here, right? But, my lieutenant governor, when he was a lieutenant governor, Gavin Newsom and I, we had our debates. You can see him right there shaking his finger at me. He was always doing that, you know, because I was coming up on him on everything. But it was all in the name of cannabis. We got the Blue Ribbon Commission. We got a lot of things going because I wouldn't leave them alone. And neither would a lot of other of us activists. We were always there at every event, at the Democratic Convention, on the platform floor, on the Chairman's Circle. We kept driving it home. And that's how we did become legal. Okay, we moved it forward. And that's what we all need to do, is work together, because we can move it forward that way. But we got to work together so to make everybody happy. The Queen of Dragons. We're going to go back a little bit ago. Queen of Dragons, under my direction, financially supported Saturday night in the park, Shasta Lake, the Veterans Parade, the Shasta Lake Chamber of Commerce, and events including Adopt a Child, and the Veterans Flag Memorial. That big flag on the I-5? You bet. I helped take care of that. Put it there. You bet. Stand Down, a 3-day veteran support event, providing clothes, boots, medical, everything they need, haircuts for veterans. Okay? Not only did I support it with money, I put my butt right there and I work. Anything I throw my money at, I also work. Under my direction, the Queen of Dragons, we financially supported the local Indians for Education youth program, Shasta Lake. Assisting with educational needs, whatever they needed. An educational field trip to San Francisco. Those kids have never left Shasta Lake. And sending the older students on December 28, 2016 to Standing Rock, so that they could be with their culture when we were having that big old thing. I thought that was really, really important, and something that I really wanted to stand behind. Also did the first heartbeat party. It's for my Lizzie. She was, at the time when I first got, about 13, and she had a heart transplant. And it was a big deal, waiting for all that time, getting her to get a heart transplant, then getting it, and then of course making it to the first year. So it was free, down there at the water slide park, to everybody. Everybody. There was no classification. You got a kid, you're in. I don't care where you come from. Okay? And we had a heck of a party. Many children never been, living even in Shasta Lake or Redding. It's too expensive. We also raised awareness for organ donors. Okay? Because of all these children needing organs and people are being afraid to put on there that I am a donator. And of course, my favorite, the Children's Fund. You can go see all my babies on the back of that wall. Not all of them. It's the ones that I have. The pictures are of children I have permission for. Currently, right this minute, I have 77. Children's Fund is used to aid sick children and their families. 100% of your donations and special event proceeds, as well as it will be the Red Barn Healing Angels. Funds are used to provide medical equipment and supplies. We pay for non-covered care, i.e. gas for travel to hospitals, doctor's appointments, UC Davis, Stanford, UC San Francisco, UCLA, hotels, airfare, car repairs, and rental. AAA tow cards, rent, mortgage, utilities, and unfortunately I paid for a lot of funerals. A lot of funerals. And these are for children. This is my recognition for running the Queen of Dragons. Got the Business of the Year Award, one from Senate, one from the City of Shasta Lake, one from Assembly, and one from the Sheriff, signed by Basenko himself. Well, everybody knows that's a feat. Queen of Dragons under my direction sponsored every community event in Shasta Lake. In 2016, to the QOD provided approximately $20,000 in support. It's a wide-known thing that if you wanted something done, the city just sent them to me. Say, oh, she'll help you. Shasta Lake tree lighting event was funded 100%. Set up a truly magical Christmas event completely free of charge. We provided quality gifts for every single person in attendance. Santa and a gift bag for every child who sees Santa, face painting, refreshments, music, free spaces for all local vendors. We gave a warm coat to every child. We had done our best not to leave one thing out. And now you'll see my magical Jeep. We set up a little slide going down to deliver all the presents with the elf on the shelf. So what? What does this have to do with what we're doing right now today? So what? All the community support, helping buy school uniforms, sending kids to camp, trips, special events, children's programs I mentioned, even the City of Shasta Lake. Okay, you stuck.
What? Tell us.
I know.
I'm just trembling with suspense.
Stop on stupid. Anybody know how to do this? Oh, there we go. Okay, everything I mentioned? Good. Thank you so much, Steve. Everything I mentioned was funded by Retail Cannabis. Couldn't have been done without it. The Retail Cannabis Club employees, that word from me and the other clubs that were in that city, the staff had good jobs. They bought vehicles, houses, and had babies. They went out to eat, had full refrigerators, and were able to spend funds on entertainment, all contributing to the community.
Just press the space bar. Was that out of battery?
This is out of batteries?
Yep.
Ah, thank you, my dear. Community support was given by Retail Cannabis sponsoring events. So we give money and we sponsor an event. That helps organizations make even more money for whatever they were raising money for. The funds cannabis retail provided to the city of Shasta Lake helped it grow. They built a new visitor center, building a new city hall, right there they go. Dedicated a new pickleball. I don't know what pickleball is, and tennis courts. I remember when we first went there and we were going, and we were talking about how we were going to help Shasta Lake and all this stuff. And they crammed all of us in this little bitty room. And at that time, the meetings were all sitting there, and we'd be lucky if they didn't have an event at the Community Senior Center, because we were all switching out. Well, now they've got all nice spaces for all those things they do in Shasta Lake. They've really built it up very, very well. Cannabis farmers have been in Trinity since known of. Okay, because I hear a lot of arguments, so I want to get this straight. Right? They've been here since 1852. Right? Just 9 years before the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. As a matter of fact, cannabis grown in Trinity County was sold as medicine, grown here and transported by horse and carriage to pharma drug companies to make medicine, like Lloyd's Brothers, and brought back. So it was taken over back to New York or wherever, and turned it into medicine, tinctures, oils, all kinds of things. And then they came back, not by airplane, horse and buggy. The Weaverville drugstore downtown, Weaverville, sold all this medicine here. Everybody here, prior to 1946, everybody took cannabis for medicine. Okay? And they sold it downtown Weaverville and all over the existing country at that time. Our misguided government installed marijuana prohibition and reefer madness. It was a nationwide racist-based initiative. Thereby, local cannabis farmers went into the shadows. They knew farming and how to grow excellent medicine. Didn't know much else. They were farmers. The Emerald Triangle, Trinity County, is known worldwide for its outstanding sun-grown cannabis, and has been forever. We as a community should work together, helping Trinity. Many issues that face Trinity is poverty, lack of jobs, meth and opiate addictions. Not kidding there. Lack of resources and a higher cost of living. Cannabis can help Trinity. It was not the so-called pot growers that changed this county. It was a cumulative effect. The animosity for cannabis farmers has been on Trinity's plate for a very long time. Allow them to come out of the shadows and help Trinity prosper. Yeah. Hey, I tried. Or we can get taxed to death as landowner. There's no more money around here. Okay, I know where to pull it from. Okay, there's 12,000 people here. Okay, and with all our bills and paying a law enforcement and all this stuff, there isn't anywhere to get it, okay, except for property taxes and pull it from the people. There's no alternative funding for Trinity County. Land, property tax, hospital, school, trash, and coming is ambulance tax. Retirees cannot afford this on their fixed income, and new families cannot move here. There is no employment, none. All right? And with the price of gas going so high, the commute's ridiculous. Let cannabis help Trinity County. Trinity's current economy. God bless Jeffrey England and the Trinity County Food Bank. Okay, this is our current economy. And he's not done. That's a load, okay? And that doesn't last him long. He even wants to do programs that go and let the kids take home food for the weekend. Trinity's current economy. Stores are closed, vacant buildings, or they're struggling and they're for sale. So many restaurants are closed or struggling to stay open, and for sale. Downtown Weaverville looks like a ghost town on any given day or eve, and it's for sale. Events have more band members than audience, even the 4th of July, as I attend all these. Homes are for sale everywhere you look. Many are leaving Trinity. Young families are not coming. There's no employment. Schools have minimal children. Lewiston had 3 graduating children for the kindergarten class of 2018. In 2017, school and free reduced reduced meals in Trinity County, 1,056 children out of 1,652 children needed help. Now there's something wrong. We can't even support our kids. That's a 63.9% that we're feeding. That source is from the California Department of Education. Trinity needs employment. Trinity's current economy. I got questions. If the families and children don't have food, do they have warm coats? Proper clothing, essential? Do they have a warm home in the winter? Can children financially participate in school learning and sports activities, educational field trips to expand their minds, building strength and character? Trinity needs employment to support the children. And of course, the time is now. Dark screen. In 2016 alone, the legal cannabis market was worth estimated $7.2 billion. Medical marijuana growth projected to grow at a compound annual rate of 17% in growth. Adult recreational growth. In 2016, sales totaled $4.7 billion. Projected to reach $13.3 billion in 2020. That's just next year. Retail industry. Possible monetary benefits. And if you look at this slide real close, what you'll see is used to on our money was hemp farming. That's a $10 bill, and they were hemp farming. Locally grown, locally sold. With 500 plus allowed cultivation licenses in Trinity County, now is the time to establish retailers to keep profits in home. Keep them in Trinity County. Ability to generate money back into our community. Tax wealth. According to CNN Money, consumers will pay a sales tax ranging from 22.25% to 24.25%, which includes the state excise tax of 15%, and additional state and local sales taxes ranging from 7.5 to 9.5. According to Tim, I hope I don't mess his name up, Cromati from the League of California Cities, and that's who our city officials and county officials listen to. Okay, cities are losing money by not drafting a permissive ordinance. Local bans are largely just stopgaps until the cities can't procrastinate on drafting local ordinance any longer. And retail energy, possible community benefits. Community support, supporting financial support to local institutions, financial support donated to local schools, fire department, sheriff's department, and more. Example, Central Valley cheerleaders were provided new uniforms and the cost of 75% of their squad to go to a cheer camp. Support the community events. Example, Shasta Lake Saturday night in the park, local parades, Chamber of Commerce. Financial supports to organizations, local Indians for education, youth programs, excuse me. So, you all need to understand how this really works. So, we have up here is our cultivators. So that would be our cultivators. There's our nursery. Then we have our lab testing and our manufacturers. Down here is your dispensary models. Between all of them, we have transporters. There's a transporter that moves them from place to place. Okay, everything involved. But we have to grow it, transport it, manufacture it, okay, and it has to go through a distributor so that it's lab tested, transport it again, taken to the dispensary, retail sales, then going to, of course, the patient, client, or recreational user. Retail cannabis can provide local jobs and careers, enabling them to provide food, housing, utilities, clothing, and a better life for their families. One retail cannabis storefront requires 7 to 12 or more employees. These are good paying jobs. These jobs pay from anywhere from $650 a week to $1,350 a week. Anybody making that kind of money right now? Possible community benefits. Retail cannabis would support local cultivators and farmers, bringing the small craft farmers, cannabis farmers, to the market. This provides local jobs, money for families. Retail cannabis would support the local manufacturing. Now, manufacturing is a big word that scares everybody. Don't, okay? It means you make barbecue sauce, lotions, creams. It's just taking the product and making it into something else. Okay? So, topical pain reliefs, lotions, bath bombs, creams, candy, cookies, brownies, chocolates, barbecue sauce, flour, vape, and various other cannabis products. But when retail cannabis supports the local manufacturing, this provides local jobs. This money supports families. Retail cannabis would support local distribution centers. Now, everybody's distribution, those are the bean counters, is how you can think about those guys. Okay, the bean counters, they collect the excise tax, arrange the lab testing of all cannabis products, storage and delivery to retail stores. This provides local jobs, money supporting families. Retail cannabis would support local transporters, transporting cannabis from one location to another. Okay, and this is required by law. We've got to move it this way. We've got to use transporters. This provides local jobs supporting local families. With local jobs created by licensed cannabis businesses in Trinity County, local jobs equal money, enabling them to provide food, housing, utilities, clothing, and a better life for their families. Supporting our local stores, our restaurants, and Trinity County by tax. Supporting a secondary, okay, and this is what people need to realize, there's a secondary ancillary business to this. Events, it supports events, lodging, and this helps the community prosper. And here are your ancillary jobs. All of a sudden, because we have retail, which is going to put in help with the other sections of this, everybody's got to get busy. Everybody. And then there's our real estate agents, electricians, carpenters, construction crew, engineers and architects, pharmacists, scientists, insurance brokers, entrepreneurs, investors, accountants, bookkeepers, horticulturists, lab testing, security, horticultural equipment, merchant services, software, marketing and advertising, cannabis consultation experts, doctors, and attorney legal advice. 7 ways cannabis legalization will make for a better future. This isn't discussed a whole lot, but it will make it if we play nicely together. These are 7 ways experts predict cannabis legalization will lead to a better future. Cannabis, and this is number 1. Cannabis is already creating jobs more quickly than any other industry, and the number of new jobs is expected to keep increasing as more places legalize marijuana. 2, scientists believe legalization could make it easier for them to develop cannabis-based medical treatments. One such medication is already helping children cope with a rare, previously untreatable form of seizure-causing epilepsy. And early studies show the plant's potential to treat everything from brain and aging to psychosis. Legalization gives government the opportunity to regulate cannabis cultivation, thereby ensuring farmers aren't allowed to damage the environment while growing their crops. 4, it also decreases the strain on the justice system, freeing up police and billions of dollars in state money to fight other criminal activity. 5, experts are hopeful cannabis could help in the opioid crisis, and we know that's very, very big, by easing the symptoms of withdrawal. The taxes from cannabis sales could go towards improving any number of societal institutions. In Oregon, where recreational marijuana is legal, recently dedicated millions in cannabis taxes to its school and public health system. Number 7, by driving down cannabis costs, legalization also drives cartels and black market dealers out of the business, taking their violent activity with them. Who exactly benefits? Travelers, community members, medical marijuana patients, adult recreational patients, or individuals. Trinity County needing employment and the services and dollars provided for its citizens, helping the Trinity County community by families, business, and people. The retail industry. California's revenue, combined sales and medical dispensaries and delivery services grew by 3%. $244 million by the end of September. 52% revenues in September came from sale of flower and bud, which is approximately $126 million in sales. $65 million in sales were derived from concentrates. 67% of concentrate sales made up all vape products. $31 million in sales derived from edibles. Ugh. What does that mean? Nothing. I like dealing with real numbers. Here you go. Okay? We'll use real numbers for this.